Hello, everybody. This is Stevie Aisha Mills, back for another conversation with Stevie. This is the show that we uncover the why behind the what of what people do, and today I am absolutely excited to bring you a wonderful woman who is doing things in health and wellness. Collier Lunn is an independent wellness advocate for doTERRA, one of the leading companies in the essential oil industry. When she isn't educating people on the safe, effective use of essential oils and their countless benefits, she is developing strategic content for corporations. Collier's passion for writing is not limited to corporate literature. She is a creative writer and poet, and she is currently working on her first novel and will publish a collection of poetry in 2018. Hi, Collier. Welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, Stevie. I'm so excited to be here.
I am excited to have you. Oh, my goodness. I love your bio, and it says so much. It says definitely that you're a creative, definitely, and I know that to be true. Have you always been in this creative vein, or is that something that developed?
I've always been in the creative lane, and more so than the technical side. I think over the years I've become a little more balanced, but I still tend to lean toward that creativity.
Awesome. And so you do a lot on Periscope. I know that because we both are members of the Perry Girls, which is so amazing, such an amazing tribe, and I love watching your show. You seem very fun. You're welcome. Fun and personable, and, it's just an amazing thing. I love creatives. I love free spirits. I love people who just, like I say, rock their it factors. And so you definitely are that. Tell us about what you scope about and how it created this, movement of poetry.
So I primarily scope inspirational messages. Weather permitting, because I like to capture the sunrise for everyone, and I like to just share an inspirational word of the day. It takes just a few minutes. I try to limit it to 2 minutes, but definitely not go over 5. But sometimes, we just kind of get caught up in the energy of the message, and we go a little longer than that. But for the most part, just an encouraging word, an inspirational word, and an opportunity to give individuals a way to think and view life differently. So that's what I'm always striving to do. I think it's really important, especially in today's climate, that we really uplift and empower each other. I think that's something that is really necessary right now.
And I love the fact that you just say you scope no more than 5 minutes, because we hear so much. Scope for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour. And I love the fact that you're like, I'm going to do these 5 minutes and keep it moving. What was the draw to do under 5 minutes?
Given the time of day that I scope, it's morning time, and because I scope during the week, I'm always aware of other people's time, and it's kind of, my thing is with social media, whether it's, live streaming or, the different avenues of Facebook and Twitter, what happens is sometimes we become so engaged in social media that we check out of real life. So I try to be mindful of that, and what I want to do is give them just enough substance so that they can get back to the business of living life. That's the biggest thing for me.
I love that. I love that on so many levels, and I love that the conversation, we really get to uncover the why behind the what, because a lot of times, I always tell my clients this when I talk to people about public relations, branding, marketing. A lot of people do what we do, right? They do. There are other people who do what I do, who host podcasts, who are authors, who are speakers, who are coaches. There are other people who do all those things, but they're not people who could do it like I can do it. And I think that one of the things that just stood out to me about you and hopefully to the listeners is that you are very, like, conscious. And that is an amazing trait because a lot of times we do get caught up in the social media madness. And I think that is a great trait for you to say, I want a little bit of your time, but I want you to go back into your life as well because it could be like a vacuum with sucked up. And so I think that's just amazing. So how do you navigate between the two? How do you spend time on social media versus offline, and what has that done for your life to spend? It sounds like you spend a lot less time online than offline.
So for me, the way I navigate that is my general rule of thumb is I don't keep my technology close to me at bedtime. So I try to make it a point that it's not the very last thing I see at night and that it's not the first thing I reach for in the mornings. That is a huge, huge factor. And a lot of people don't realize, just how instinctual it's become anymore, that the first thing you do when you wake up is reach over to grab your cell phone and you start scrolling your feeds, And so I stopped doing that. It's been a while now. I stopped doing that a while ago. I'm really conscious about that. And it makes a huge difference because what it does is it gives me my quiet time in the morning, but it also allows me to really unwind at night so that I can rest peacefully. And that's difficult to do. We don't realize, looking at these screens, that light, it wires our brain, and it makes it more difficult for us to really settle in to a peaceful state. And so I got away from that, and it's been a huge help. And then I moderate my time when I am on social media. I've become more aware of that, and I moderate my time. So I give myself allotted time periods. I'm going to spend this much time checking emails and responding to emails. I'm going to spend this much time looking at this feed, looking at that feed, and, sending whatever I need to send out. And scheduling messages to go out is a huge help, too, because if you have them scheduled in advance, you can actually reduce your time online. So I use all of those tools to just really help me get back to the present moment, being present. We see people everywhere. They stand around or they're at a dinner table or even a restaurant, and everyone's looking at their phone. No one's engaging in conversation. No one's looking at each other, nothing. And so I've been just really paying attention to that and working towards eliminating that.
Wow, I think that's awesome for a whole lot of reasons. I know I am definitely one of those people who rolls over in the morning and is like, what in the world is going on with the world? Let me get my phone, let me get my face. I am that person. And I feel like it's almost an addiction of sorts because I'm like, what in the world? What would happen if I lose my phone? Knowing that, it'll be okay, but I feel like I need to it'll be some type of withdrawal. And I think that we are so plugged into our world. I just applaud that when people they're not like connected like that, because I know a couple of my friends, some of them, they're like, I'm not even on Facebook. I don't even do all that. And I think that it's important to really go offline as well. And I think it's also great that I spend a lot of time with my older relatives who are in their 80s, and they're like, I don't get this. I don't know why y'all need this. Why is everybody just looking at their phones around the same room? It's a different thought pattern that goes on. And I'm like, I need a mix of both. Right. I need my phone because I can connect with so many people around the world, but I also need that offline time to really connect with people, be present. I think that's the whole thing. We are present more so in our internet world than we are with the people who we love and care about and who we are in the same room with. And that is, I'm trying to do real better with that because, life is precious and the people in front of you are definitely, they desire and deserve your attention as well. And so I think that's great. And I know that you tapped on a couple of things that I want to kind of transition into what you do for wellness. And I love essential oils. I really, really do. I understand I understand that essential oils are very, they are healing properties. And for me, it's been a great thing because when I left my job a few years ago, I got really sick. And so because I was leaving the job, I left my insurance there. They don't let you take that with you. So when I got sick, I started really looking into, natural things that could buy without insurance. And so essential oils are very powerful. Can you tell us, how did you get into essential oils, and why did you choose your company, and what do you love most about essential oils?
Okay. So I've always been aware of essential oils for a little while before I actually jumped in, and I was actually invited to an event by a colleague of mine at the time, and so we went together, and I was so impressed by that event, and just the little bit that I learned in that short amount of time in that evening, that I knew, it's like, okay, yeah, this is for me. And so I'm one of those people that I wholly advocate for natural health and wellness, and I don't advocate in the sense that I believe, okay, it's the end-all answer to everything where you don't need traditional medicine. But what I do advocate for is that we can reduce or eliminate a lot of issues we have in general with just better self-care overall. And we don't necessarily need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars running to a doctor for things that we can correct in our own home. And for me, essential oils is a part of that for me. So I do my best to stay away from medication at all costs. I don't like to take pills for headaches or, pain or anything like that if I can help it. And I do understand that there is a place for it, and it's necessary at times. But for the most part, if we can offset those, using medicine as our go-to for each and every ailment, it makes a huge difference. And I've noticed a difference just for myself. I've been using essential oils for about 5 years now, and less headaches, I'll tell you that. Get less headaches, a lot less stress, just a lot. And I'm on the verge of just completely detoxifying my home. So I don't buy the over-the-counter chemicals for the home anymore, the air fresheners, the sprays. They used to give me headaches, and I never realized that before until I stopped using them. And so that was a wake-up call for me. And the company I chose, aside from the quality of oils, I'm with doTERRA, and so aside from the quality of oils that they produce, I love their social responsibility above all else, and that's something I'm really passionate about. I think it is very huge for corporations, especially corporations that make significant money. They generate significant revenue. I think it is really important for them to have a strong foothold in the society and populations that they serve, the communities they serve. And doTERRA does that. What drew me in and what just really sold me was their Healing Hands Foundation, which is their nonprofit organization. And unlike most nonprofits, 100% of the proceeds for that nonprofit go exactly to the cause. So they don't keep a percentage for administrative overhead or anything. 100% goes to the charities that they fund. And in addition to their own nonprofit, they actually partner with other organizations. One is called Our, O-U-R, and an acronym for, I forget, it's the Underground Railroad is what it is. And basically what they do is they rescue young girls and women from sex trafficking. And
wow.
That is huge. That is really huge. And in the last 3 years, they've saved close to 1,000 children and women, and they've arrested close to 400 perpetrators. And that's really that really means something to me, that they partner with organizations like this in the community that are making a real difference. So those are the biggest sellers for me personally in terms of why I committed to pursuing this avenue with doTERRA. And they also use independent farmers around the world in developing countries. And that really stood out to me, too, because what they're doing is they're empowering communities that otherwise would not have the economic advantages that they now have because of these partnerships. And they're helping these communities develop. And it has afforded a lot of these communities the ability to send their children to school to be educated, to actually bring clean running water into their neighborhoods. And that speaks volumes to me. So that's what drew me in. I was there at that moment.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I never, I've heard definitely and seen the company, but I didn't know any of that. So thank you for sharing that. And
my pleasure.
What allowed you to really just say you wanted to be in the industry of direct sales and network marketing? Because a lot of times people shy away from that industry. And I have been in and out of the industry for the last 20 years, I think. Maybe not that long. Let's see, 16 years, maybe 16 years. So I know about the industry. I know it well, and it definitely has had some, personal development structure in my life. It's also had financial freedom in my life and some different things. And so I just am curious as to what made you say yes to the industry.
So I transitioned in with the intent of having a second stream of income. So I was doing this very, very part-time, if we'd even call it that. But what I wanted to do before I actually started selling the product is I wanted to become very well-versed in the product, and I wanted to be experienced in using the product. So I started with them about 5 years ago, but I only just this year actually began actively selling and sharing the oils with others. And that's because I wanted to go through my own personal trial and error and have my notes of what I found works for me and how it works, and to also do my own independent research and study to make sure that the information that I'm sharing is accurate and also compliant with company standards as well. I'm real big on safety, and so I always want to advocate on the side of safety, and I always want to share from that avenue. And then the other part of that, too, is I don't necessarily believe in getting behind a product I don't personally use or believe in. That's just me. And because I'm not a salesperson in the traditional sales sense, I don't like to sell to people. I do like to share, and I think that's the biggest thing with consumers. You can effectively convey your message just by your passion for what it is, And so I love these oils. I use these oils for everything. I clean my home with these oils. I diffuse these oils. I make body scrubs with these oils. I've made insect repellents with these oils, household cleaning products with these oils, the whole bit. And so I have no issues with them. I've not had any adverse reaction to them. And I love the way they work. I love the way the house feels. And my children say it all the time when they come visit. They're like, I could smell it before you even open the front door. It just smells so good. So they'll just come here just to sit in the presence of the diffuser.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love
Aromatherapy.
Yes. And it works. It really works. My mom has some medical challenges, and one of the things with her is she really struggles with migraines, head tension, and horribly so. And I gave her a recipe to try whenever she feels the onset of one, and she's been using that now, and I don't know the last time she's had a migraine. I really don't.
Wow.
And so I always tell people it's not that it's a cure or anything like that, but a lot of times you can cut certain ailments off at the pass if you get ahead of them without having to constantly pump your body full of drugs.
Mhm. Yep. That's the truth. And I love the way in which you have just eloquently educated us on this. And I love that. And I think that this ties into the other piece of your bio that we learned about at the top of the show, and that was that you write strategic content for companies and corporations. Tell us about that.
So my background in corporate is proposal, grant writing, and technical writing, and I've done that for a little more than, I started grant writing in the 90s. I transitioned into proposal writing in the early 2000s, and so I've been doing that for quite a while. And writing is my first passion, so I love writing. And corporate writing is a different animal because it's all about strategy and positioning and things of that nature. But I love those challenges. So I've worked with public companies, private companies that actually solicit their services to government entities, be they local, state, and federal, as well as international companies. And it's fun because it's feast or famine. When it's slow, it's slow. But when you have opportunities present themselves, it's like the turnaround is quick time. You're working with a team. You have to gather information. You document everything. You have to position it in such a way that it becomes compelling enough for those companies or the government agency that you're proposing your solution to want to work with you and give you those millions of dollars. And so that's pretty much what I was doing with that. And I do love it because you learn a lot. You work with different people depending on what type of proposal it is. And in terms of technical writing, that was primarily in IT with different companies, a lot of manufacturing companies, but with their IT divisions whenever they are implementing new enterprise software company-wide. So I would be responsible for capturing all of that information from the technical side, the developers, and the programmers. So I'd collect that information from them and convert that knowledge into layman terms so that I could prepare documentation that would help the rest of the company learn how to use new software. And I would also train the company. I've trained thousands of people over the years, and I can't even begin to think of how much documentation I've created in the process. It's a lot.
Wow. Are you actively writing grants still now?
I do consult on the side. I'm actually working with a young lady in South Carolina who is in the process of developing her nonprofit. So I'll be working with her on grant writing and getting her vision and mission together and the business plan for her nonprofit. I'm excited about that.
Cool. I asked that because it's so funny. if you currently go to my social media, my Facebook page, I just put a post up this morning to help people, because people always ask me for grant writer and recommendations. So there's a post on my page right now that says that. And so, yes, you definitely have to stop by.
I will.
Yes. So I am just excited that we were able to uncover so much in this conversation. I always ask my guests this question. I say, if there was anything that what would it be? And it would be the question like, Stevie, we cannot leave them today without telling them this. What would this be if there is anything?
What I would tell everyone listening is believe in yourself. And I heard someone say this about a year ago, believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, believe in the individual that believes in you until you do. And that's really important because a lot of times we get frustrated and we become easily discouraged when whatever our plan is not panning out the way we perceive that it should. And believe me, been there. I know what that feels like and what that looks like. But what I will say to you is this: remain consistent, believe in you, and stay focused on what you want that end result to be. Because what happens is, as long as you can see the end result, that's fine. You're not going to be able to see every road, every bump along the path of that journey. But as long as you can continue to see what that end result is, you will get there. No one ever gives us the journey, what the course is that we're supposed to take. We just have the vision of where we're supposed to, of the destination where we're supposed to end up. So hold on to that. Believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, believe in the individuals who believe in you until you do. And once you find that belief in yourself, continue to pursue, because the turbulence that you feel along that road, the truth of it is this: you will endure the most turbulence. It gets the roughest right before the victory. So you just have to hold fast. That's what I would share with everybody.
Well, amen. That was a great word to end on. We cannot let you go, though, without thanking you for your time and just your wisdom and just being the dynamic person you are. I also want to make sure that we get your contact information so that people can reach out to you.
Yes. So you can find me. I am on Facebook, Collier Lunn, COLLIER LUNN. I am on social media. On Instagram, it's Odd Poet Girl, and I think I'm the only Odd Poet Girl on Instagram. Instagram and Twitter, Odd Poet Girl. And actually, some of my writings, you'll see some of my creative writing on those media outlets as well. And email address is Collier, COLLIER, doTERRA, DOTERRA, @gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me, Stevie.
You're so welcome. You are so welcome. My pleasure. And everybody, please do reach out to Collier. She has a wealth of knowledge that we just uncovered today, and I know that she'll be able to assist you in any way that you need, whether it be health and wellness for your body or your business. She is able to do what you need her to do for you. And so, everybody, I am Stevie Aisha Mills. It is my pleasure to host the conversation with Stevie. I am excited to just bring you these phenomenal people. That's my God-given gift. That's my it factor. You can reach me just by spelling my first name correctly, Stevii. Again, Stevii. And you can find me all over social media. You can find me at Stevie.com. And, of course, you can find me right here on the Conversation with Stevie. Make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? because you, and yes, you too, have the power to do so. Bye for now.